welcome back. I haven't done a proper video for a while, so I thought I would introduce a slightly different rifle to what you're used to seeing on my channel. Normally you're sort of seeing World War One, World War Two battle rifles. Instead, this is a little bit more modern. This is an AR-15, but UK legal, unfortunately. We'll get on to the sort of intricacies of why and how it is UK legal, but the overall gist is it is not semi-automatic, it is a manually operated weapon. So I'm just going to do you a bit of a tour. We start at the muzzle. We've got the A2 flash hider, standard, something that was pointed out to me when I got it, which I think is quite an interesting touch. I'm sure many people know about this, is that the flash hider doesn't have any slots cut underneath. If I can get a shot of the underside of it. And that's because it would kick up loads of dust otherwise if you were lying down and give away your position. So that is the theory behind that. Moving on from the flash hider, we've got an 18-inch barrel, if I can focus the camera. This is free floated, so it isn't basically in contact with anything after the breech. We've got a handguard, a rail, Picatinny rail with 4 sort of areas to mount things. I've only got at the moment, as you can see, a Harris bipod mounted to it. And just some handguards, because the other day I actually properly took it out for its first real shoot. Noticed it was quite uncomfortable just holding on to the metal handguards. They're not sharp, but they're probably, we shot about 230 rounds through it. They were quite abrasive. Anybody that sort of knows anything about AR, it's built on an upper and lower. The upper is sort of where the bolt carries, and the lower is where sort of the pistol grip, the trigger assembly and the magazine housing is, and simply by pushing out 2 pins, one is there, one is there, you can separate this portion of the rifle here from this bottom portion below. As with any AR, it'll accept 20-shot magazines, 30-shot magazines. I don't know if you can get them in the UK, but they are, as far as I'm aware, legal. You could probably get a beta mag in there, but I wouldn't see the point with the fact it's manually operated. Moving back, we've got fully adjustable stock. I have it on the, I'm quite tall, I'm about 6'2", the world's longest arms, and I have it actually just on the second from highest setting. My friend who has shot it, he's a little bit taller than me and says even on full setting he finds it a bit short, but I find it fine on that second to further settings, just to adjust the length of pull. Just actually before I finish doing the overview, we've got a standard T-bar charging handle there, as with any AR. My scope is set quite low. There is a gap between the scope body and the actual rifle. So it's not actually that easy to use, the T-bar handle, but you can use it, but when you've got a massive cocking handle on the side as such, that's the easiest way to operate the weapon. So just moving on to how and why this is legal in the UK. As I've just mentioned, it is a manually operated rifle, so that big charging handle there on the side, every time I want to chamber around, I've got to pull it back and then you let it go. Obviously there's the return spring, there's a big old spring in that buffer tube there. That then takes the bolt forward, and on the way forward it picks up a cartridge from the magazine and locks in place and is ready to fire. So aside from that, there's no gas port or gas tube on the barrel. I mean, you can't really see there, but it's just completely clear. I suppose probably you'd have to do a lot of work to convert it into semi-automatic. I think the trigger group would probably, oh no, it's the lower, I think, might need changing, might need machining to work properly. I don't actually know at all how you do it, but Not something that's worth doing in this country because it becomes a Section 5 firearm, which would then, if you don't have the appropriate licence, would, I think, require about 5 years in Her Majesty's custody. So, best avoid that. So, this is chambered in 5.56 and 2.23. The actual chamber's been, when it was, it's got a border barrel on it, so when that barrel was cut, made and rifled, I think they make the chamber a little bit bigger so it can accept 2.23 and 5.56, because there is a slight difference in terms of, I think it's the cartridge wall thickness. I think the 5.56 is a bit chunkier. The barrel's a 1 in 8 twist, which means it's designed to fire a heavier bullet, so lighter hunting loads probably won't stabilise very well or shoot that well from it. One of the reasons, although I will probably be using it for a little bit of hunting, it's predominantly a range rifle. And the ability to fire heavier bullets means I can shoot to longer ranges basically, and also utilise surplus ammunition, which is great because it's got the 5.56 chamber. So the surplus ammunition, when it is available, is much cheaper than general sort of factory stuff. I will be reloading for it in the near future. I want to really push this rifle to see what we can get. I've been told I should be able to get sub MOA at 100 yards with it. I don't know if it's coming across. The barrel is quite heavy on it. As I said, I opted for a slightly longer barrel, 18 inches, just to allow it to try and gain every piece of accuracy from it. To aid with accurate shooting, I've got a tuned trigger on it, so it is a single stage, and I think it breaks around £3. I'm not sure on that, but it's very light. It's the nicest trigger of any firearm I own. I think my next best trigger would either be my CZ 2.2 rimfire, which again is just a standard factory trigger, or my K31. So as you can see, this is quite a leap forward in terms of sort of tuned and accurate, sort of accurising a rifle. It'll be excuse me, great to see what it can actually do, putting holes in paper. The actual rifle itself is a Lantac. They're actually based not far from me in Yorkshire. They're also made to order. Everyone's different because people use them for different things. So you can specify different barrel lengths, different flash hiders, muzzle brakes. You can have your barrels just or that sort of chrome finish, so it's shiny, or just the bare steel basically. Different grips, different colours of stock. I mean, as everyone knows, with the AR platform, it's so adaptable. You can just tweak it and do anything you want to it. I mean, right down to different colour foregrips, different coloured pistol grips. You can have the charging handle in sort of a metal colour rather than the sort of anodised black. The actual barrel as well, talking colour, is Cerakoted, I think, or one of those finishes, which in theory means it's incredibly durable. Oh, Duracoat, that's it. Not that I'm going to be chucking it around. It shouldn't have too hard a sort of, shouldn't be treated roughly. This rifle is never going to be in that sort of environment or need to. But I wouldn't expect it to receive much damage if you did happen to catch it on some stones or a wall or anything. So probably take some detailed shots so you can see that sort of the parts of the rifle in a little more detail. But I just thought I'd show it to you. If you look at some of my earlier videos, the April range day, you'll see this being shot. Only one or two really quick shots. It wasn't. I didn't actually have my camera out because I was shooting it at the time. But I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you've got any questions on ARs in the UK or anything, I'll try and answer them. I'm quite new to them. I'd definitely like to try and get competing with this rifle. I think it's, well, that was half the point to buy it, was to be able to have something which I can, a bit more fun. 30-shot magazines are there to be used and emptied, so if last week was anything to go by, it was. It's going to be a good rifle in the future going forward for some fun. Okay, I hope you've enjoyed this, and I'll see you guys soon. I just thought it might be worth just showing you the operation of this type of rifle, because it is a little bit different. You don't obviously, with being a straight bolt, have to twist the cocking handle. All you do, straight back, and if you had a magazine and a round in the magazine, let it fly forward. It picks up a round and puts it home into the breech. As it goes in, the bolt head twists and locks in. And this means that when you fire, obviously the bolt just doesn't fly back, it's locked in place. You can, as I mentioned, cock it with the T-bar handle. You just pull that back, exactly the same function. The magazines generally have a last round holder. So if I just get this empty 30 shot one here. So I fired my round, I eject it, let go, and the magazine's held open. Press that button there, drop it. You can put a new magazine in, simply just make sure it clicks home. And there's magazine release on this side, just flip it round. Magazine release there, press that. Sorry, bolt release, not magazine release, we're talking rubbish. If I did have a bullet in the chain, a bullet in the magazine, it would go, but unfortunately the magazine's stopping it. So assume there was a magazine in there with a bullet in it. Press this button, sends the bolt home, and you're ready to fire. Safety switch, like any ARs there. On, off. Cool. I hope that was clear as to how it works.